Hello, hello, hello. How we doing tonight? Today? Whatever it is when you're actually watching this. Godly here with another video. This time I'm back over at Fort Troy. Because I want to do a video. It's going to be a little longer, probably, than most of my videos. Not going to lie. It's probably going to be longer. But I want to do a video on where I've gotten those last couple Hall of Fames that I have posted videos for. So, I got a few rifles here, about 360 PEDs worth of ammo. Now, I'm not going to go through all 366, but as a jumping off point so we can also look up profit. So, been a little while since I've done a video. Well, I guess it's only been about a week since you've seen, a last video from me. Been dealing with all this corona bullshit. It's unfortunate, it's affecting so many people's lives, and it's, at least in my opinion, mostly panic. Because it's I don't want to spread propaganda or, any inaccurate information. That's definitely far from what I ever want to do on this channel. There's just things that are going on with it. It's, there's, not sure if you guys recall, back in October through December in the United States, there's a lot of cases of, people having upper respiratory infections, but it wasn't the flu, It was just, that's how they were labeling it, upper respiratory infections. Oh wow, I've never seen defenders in this spot. Huh. Sorry, a little distracted there. But, yeah, back in, fall of 2019, there was all this stuff going on about, upper respiratory infections. But they made sure to say that it was not the flu. Which, it wasn't. At the time, it was not the flu. But at the same time, we never had these tests for coronavirus. So, them saying all this, putting two and two together, it looks pretty much like what we thought was upper respiratory, infections is in reality what we now know as coronavirus. Well, that's how I'm seeing it. I'm no doctor. I mean, I've run storage, I certainly know PhD, but just same exact symptoms. Wasn't the flu then, because we didn't have a test then for what we are experiencing now. So it makes sense that this quite possibly is not new in this country. We might have been dealing with this, for quite a while. That's one of the reasons I'm not, panicking about all this. I still actually have to go to work. Like I said, I'm in the storage business, so I'm not really interacting with people too often. But not to get entirely off topic here. Part of this video was supposed to be where I normally hunt when I got those Hall of Fames. So let's zoom in here a little bit. So Fort Troy, mostly southwest south. I guess it would be west southwest. No, that's too far west. Southwest south. You got these Dicabas and Exosaurs. Now the Dicabas go all the way up to Stalkers, I believe, over here. Same thing with the Exosaurs, but the Exosaurs never go above like level 8, 9. They're piece of cake. I'm using Ghost Armor and an LR20, and you'll see I'll just blast through these. I don't even need the armor for those guys. But, so of course I am going to talk about the game today, but I figured I should discuss the elephant in the room, as it were, with the whole virus crap that's going on. You know, and I'm not completely ignorant to its possibilities. Not in the least. And I have to be very careful of it. Not necessarily for myself, because if I were to, get sick from it, alright, I'm young enough that it's not really going to affect me. However, I do take care of, live with, family who, they're elderly. So I have to worry about, their well-being, nothing else. Well, this whole thing's been crazy, It took a pandemic for us to start, like, washing our hands and things of the sort. Things we should be doing regularly anyway. But suddenly now it's like, oh, we gotta be doing this, everyone. Like, all right, so next week we're going to work on colors and shapes. We got hand washing now. Next week, colors and shapes. We should probably skip that and go right to, how to properly wipe ourselves so people don't buy thousands of rolls of toilet paper like it's the apocalypse. Now, I also have the advantage, I live in Florida, so we go through essentially quarantine yearly with hurricanes. So I gotta deal with, stocking up every year. So it's really not new to me, so seeing people panic over something like toilet paper, because that stuff does not happen during hurricane season. Not at all. There's no need. I mean, this is a 2-week quarantine. There's been times where, you're out of power for 2 weeks at a time anyway, so what's the difference? Never had to stock up like that before. I think it's just, everyone's exaggerating this a little too much. That's a funny exaggeration of, how little in reality this has affected people. I mean, as of me recording this, it was something like 6,000 people in the U.S. have contracted it. So 6,000 of 400 million. That's not really a lot of people. And of that 6,000, not many people have died of it in comparison. But as another comparison, you have things like the flu, which we get every year. We expect it, the regular, everyday, average flu. Something like, millions of people contract that yearly. And we're looking at 40,000 people plus that actually die from it every year. Which, it sucks. I'm not trying to, say any of this is, funny or whatnot, but the fact that so many people die of something that happens regularly, and I don't even want to bring up any other statistics, partially because I don't want to misquote them, and I really don't feel like Googling right now. I'm enjoying my little hunt, especially since, if anyone's noticed my chat, I've been spending a little bit of time in space working on a ship. You got other statistics, how many people die of car crashes every day? It's not like we're going to stop driving. How many, people, take their own lives? That number is probably at least 10 times who compared to people who have passed from coronavirus, Covid, whatever it is. So, I'm taking all this with a grain of salt. Still have to go to work, can't do my job, even the 10th of what I normally do, because I, can't do certain things right now. I don't want to go into it because, well, it's company need to know, put it that way. But, if you have storage, you might notice some changes with, how things are handled in the U.S. The only bright side to all of this, other than the fact people are actually washing their hands now, which I think is a disgusting topic that evidently was never addressed, or people forgot about it. Some of the memes that are coming out about all this are, quite amusing. Quite amusing. I like my women like I like my Covid-19 and easily spread. Apologize to any of the girls who might be watching this, but that joke is pretty damn funny. And if you can't laugh at things like that, well, I mean, you're on the wrong channel, because I will be showing a little more of my personality in future videos. Because this is supposed to be fun and relaxing for me. It can't be all serious all the time. A little change of subject, and, back to the actual game that I'm recording about. Oh, Prowler, there we go. A little bigger. So yeah, I think level 15, level 16 is the biggest guys over here. But the Hall of Fames that I got, I think one was on an Alpha, the other one was on a Guardian. Wasn't, even huge mobs. Now, I am using Ghost Armor over here. Those other videos, yeah, I was using Ghost as well. But to be completely clear, it's not just Ghost Armor. I do have some plates on there, impact plates, because these guys, especially the higher level Daikabas, they do hit pretty damn hard. I've died numerous times over here, but they do hit, and just to avoid timing, I decided let me get plates, saves me a little bit of time and effort healing. Allows me to just to grind through these guys. Which, while on the topic, let me bring up my little codex here. I have no idea why it's starting on a codex, but let's go with Daikaba, which happens to be the very first one I've ever maxed out. I'm quite proud of that. Although as soon as I maxed it out, I realized it's going to be damn near impossible to repeat on that. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's going to take quite a while. I was able to go through, 100 PDs worth of ammo and at least get a rank in the last few levels. So it wasn't terrible, amounts of grinding. But even now, the video is probably about, 12, 13 minutes long. Probably spent about 10 of it hunting. And none of these are, that was from leaving Atlantis, I think, and coming back into space. So it's not like I've recently ranked up, and you see I just killed 2 overmen, and they didn't even budge the percentage. But, so it's a little disappointing I can't repeat that much on these. But if I can keep getting, Hall of Fames, or even, globals on these guys. I did a video a little while back of me globaling. All the globals I did for February. Not all of them, a good chunk of them. It's a good video, check it out. I'll probably try getting a link in here for you. But it was fun putting all that together. But a good portion of them was in this area, because I did spend quite a bit of time over here. Especially once I got that first Hall of Fame, it's like, alright, this is my spot. And now I'm sharing my spot with you. That almost sounded dirty, and I can't even blame it on being, quarantined. I'm not actually quarantined. I'm self-isolating, if anything else. Which, it's not exactly new, Spend all day dealing with people. Sometimes I want to come home, watch some TV, play some Entropia, have a beer maybe, glass of wine. Or my little delay in saying that almost made me sound like I was romanticizing it. So yeah, been playing a bit of this lately. spending a lot of time in space. I'm trying to get to the point where I can actually fly the mothership. I hopefully will be there by next weekend. I'm close. I'll be even closer if I don't have to work the next few days, but unfortunately I have to. Although it's quite possible that will change with all that's going on with coronavirus. As long as I'm paid for it, get to stay home, play Entropia. Well, that sounds very pompous of me talking about getting paid. You know, if I can't work, because I got quite a few friends that are in the service industry, and you know they're unable to work, you know, because of all this. Which is probably what's pissing me off about the whole thing the most, is the fact that, you know, some people are losing their income over all this. And I am also reasonable enough and smart enough to realize that they're not... The panic over this isn't necessarily because of its lethality. They're more interested in the fact that if people do get sick and start flooding the hospitals, they're not going to be able to take care of other things. You know, stroke victims, car accidents. If ICU beds are filled with people on respirators because, you know, they're having trouble breathing with all of this, you know, fluid in their lungs, etc., etc., you know, they're not going to be able to take care of other people. And this is a lot more preventable than a car accident or a stroke. So, we just have to stay away from each other for a little while to prevent it. But damn, does it suck that this all happened, you know, during St. Patrick's Day. It was our first St. Patrick's Day in years that I didn't go out. I didn't go out and have a single beer, single shot, not even an Irish car bomb. Nowhere. And, you know, even though most people become Irish on, you know, St. Patrick's Day, I actually do have Irish in my blood. It's been traced through, you know, ancestry and whatnot. I am legitimately got Irish in me, and German, so I'm basically bred to drink. So, and, you know, hopefully in about 6 weeks I'll be able to say I'm, you know, Mexican too, so I can enjoy Cinco de Mayo. And none of that was racial or racist jokes or anything like that. That's just observations. Everyone becomes Irish this time of year. Ah, Stalker. Finally. One of the big boys. So yeah, they're still getting some damage on me, even with the plates. Not nearly as much as they would. You know, even with the ghost armor on, they were hitting me for 30, 40 plus without criticaling. I've gotten put to, you know, to red from full health almost instantly going after those guys. And trust me, that did suck. To be out here, it's, you know, you saw me drive out here, normally I just walk over because it's not that far from Fort Troy. But, having robots over there, I gotta look into that. Oh, it just globaled. There we go. I don't think it was a big one. It was like 10 PEDs. Yeah, 10 PED global. It's always fun getting global, regardless of the amount. I had a little surprise. This is definitely an enjoyable area to hunt, and not gonna lie though, the ammo does not go far, especially when you're using about 20. So I'm through, what, 57 PEDs worth of ammo in less than 20 minutes. So you can see it's you do have to pace yourself, unless you got some pretty deep pockets. Now, typically, you know, I got a ton of ammo. I bought some boxes. I actually did a video for that not too long ago as well. Opening a bunch of strong boxes. But normally when I'm out here, I'll just, as long as I have a loot pill going, I'll sit here and cycle until the loot pill goes through. And I've gotten so spoiled with those loot pills. Because I originally started playing years ago, long before there was vehicles, long before loot pills, of course. And as soon as I realized they had things like loot pills, you know, alright, I'm not sitting here and click on all of them. And you'll notice on some of my videos, you know, where I have mobs of mobs coming at me. If I had to stop and take the time to click on every single one of them after I killed them. My god, would that be tedious. That was one of the only times I've ever bought skill chips, by the way. Was, because I was kind of low on the paramedics profession. So I, you know, skilled up a little bit just because I wanted access to those loot pills. Which I think you only need, like, what, paramedic profession 5? Probably could have gotten that in a night or even a weekend. I was a paid paramedic to some of these hunters. Although that lower level probably wouldn't have done much. But even if I did it volunteer-wise, it probably would have cost me about the same to buy the skill chip versus, you know, repairing a FAP. I might have some company over here. I do. I always like having friends. Well, at least company over here. Occasionally you can start some conversations. Although at this point, you know, with an LR20, Ghost Armor, kind of go through them quick enough that we don't have time, like, while mobs are, you know, while I'm trying to kill them. Not a lot of time to talk. Let's see if I even know. You're doing pretty well over there. And one of these days I'm hoping to come over here again, using just Mind Force. Started using that, you know, on some of the lower mobs. I'm still on Exoswords, actually, over by Port Atlantis, using him. Nice place to, you know, grind on low mobs. You know, I wish I would have known about that area when I first started. When I first started, I'm not gonna lie, I played foolishly. Was using melee, which I know some people, you know, can say that you can make money, you know, or not lose money terribly with melee. I was losing it quite a bit originally. But again, it was still me learning the game, and I wasn't taking advantage of resources around me. I was one of those guys that was, hey, I'm gonna do it. You know, no one's gonna tell me how to play my game. It's my game. But I realized the game this massive, you can't do that. I'm certainly not an expert on everything Entropia. Hell, if anything, the closest to an expert I would be, and even then is amusing, is only Calypso. Now, I don't really go to other planets. I think I've been on Arcadia like twice, just to try it out. Thought about stopping at Next Island, if nothing else, just to find out what those shares are all about. I did buy a couple of them. I know there's still a bunch for sale. It's being said they're not a huge investment, and it's not going to really pay off in the end. But I bought 10 shares of them and got 20 back. My first Monday. I think that was mostly, you know, the hype. I'm still probably going to end up buying more of the shares, because as long as I don't lose money on it, as long as, you know, down the road I'd still be able to sell them for 10 PEDs a piece, I think it's a worthwhile investment for me at least. And who knows, it could turn around, you know, as long as it doesn't turn into like those comp pet beats. I don't know if anyone remembers those things where they have the outside games, you know, to take care of your pets. As long as they don't do, you know, tank like those do, because I think they even started buying some of those back. Or like the underground deeds, which are not doing very well right now. As long as they don't, you know, as long as I at least get my money back. If I get a little bit of money along the way, that's awesome. As long as I break even and can turn around and sell those for what I paid for them, that's what it's about for me. You know, I'm not expecting to retire or anything on those. Now this video is going on, we're about 26 minutes. I'll probably cut it soon. What should I do? I think I should run back to the TT to see where I'm at with loot, or just try to eyeball it. Well, let's see how much I've spent so far. So we're 284, started at 366, so we've gone through what? Say 82 PDs worth of ammo. We've got 31 back in shrapnel by itself, another 10 muscle oil, 6 between those two. So it's still a loss in here, but you know, if I were to get a Hoff in there, it's pretty close to a profit, not huge. But skills I'm gaining on top of it. That's something I actually had someone ask me if I ever talk about, you know, making a profit. Oh, we got just a global right there. And 22 PDs in shrapnel right there. Right now I just made that profit with that one global. See? Speak and it shall happen. Yeah, you just gotta put that into the universe and that shit will happen. But I'm waiting for it to show up on the bottom so I can give you the actual total. I saw there was at least 22 PEDs worth of shrapnel. Which I love getting those globals, you know, I'm not always after the big game, you know, stuff. I appreciate those globals because if nothing else, it keeps me playing, keeps me engaged, keeps me, you know, keeps doing this. Alright, it's going to take forever for it to show up on the back. Someone asked me about when I say, you know, I made a profit or whatnot. 24 PDs is what it total out to be. When I talk about making a profit, it's strictly, for me at least, ammo versus loot. I don't factor in, you know, decay. I don't factor in, you know, none of that really affects me because I also look at all these skills I get over here. You know, there's a line of them there that I have no skill boost or anything on. So, you know, those skills do have TT value. I'm still getting something from them. And as far as decay goes, I can't really go off what the armor was. I should have started with the armor. But something like, or my weapon, excuse me. But armor. I've gone through 4 pec on the thigh guards. You know, I've gotten through 9 pec on the harness. You know, it's literally pennies of decay. And granted, I'm not getting heads of, you know, skills, but I think it's a fair amount to offset, you know, what I'm losing in decay to what I'm gaining in skills. Now, something like weapons, yeah, I do burn through weapons. You know, I just actually bought another LR20, you know, a few minutes before the video started. In fact, let me give him a shout out to my boy here, Black Wolf, always helping me out. If you ever need anything to do with LRs, go to this guy, he's got great rates. Yeah, so shout out to him. In fact, I'll have to message him and tell him he's going to be in one of my videos. But great dude, good prices, he'll hook you up. And he's on quite a bit too, which is one of the things I love about him. You know, because my schedule is weird when I want to play here. Sometimes I'm playing before work, after work. my days off occasionally change, so I stop on, and it seems like that dude is, always there. He's my Entropia drug dealer, as it were. So, definitely look up Black Wolf. But yeah, as far as weapons go, I'm burning through them quite a bit. But yeah, I just look at ammo versus loot when it comes to profit, because the rest is kind of a wash. I'm not gonna nickel and dime that much. If you guys want to see me do a video like that, where I break down, this is what I'm starting with, ammo-wise, weight-wise, weapon and amp-wise, I'll give you the full breakdown. I can't do it consistently like that, for the sheer fact that there's a lot of factors involved. That's 7 pieces of armor with 7 plates. So that's a bit of information to compile. Weapons with, a scope and amp on it. If I were to do that for every video, you'd have like 3, 4, or 5 minutes of me just doing math. So, but I am willing to do it just to, if nothing else, for evidence of how much I've actually lost during a hunt. Unfortunately, I could probably ballpark PED value of skills, but with some of them it's kind of inconsistent. I could probably give you like total skills gained and come up with an approximate PED value, an average value. Because some skills are worth a little bit more than others. But certainly, if you guys want to see that, please, leave me a comment down below. Let me know that you want to actually see me do that. I got a video that I'll be probably filming out in the next couple days or so, where I'm breaking down all the prices of the woodcutting skill. So I've had some people call me out saying, you can't make a profit on it, it's incredibly rare if you do. It's like, oh, I've taken a bunch of my my runs and totaled it out, and I'm gonna see, how close I am to making a profit over a long, long amount of time. And if that's the case, I have no problem admitting, that I'm wrong. And I never said I'd make a profit every single time. Because, of course, there's going to be some loss. Otherwise, this game's not going to run. But, just give you an idea how close you come to a TT value profit with woodcutting. And then again, you still have all these skills that you're gaining on. That's one of my favorite parts, you're still... And they have monetary value. I can ship this stuff out and, make some money back. Alright, at this point I'm rambling. I got to vent about my... all this crap with Corona. Let me see where I'm at with ammo. So I'm, 105 PEDs in? You know what? Let's, for the sake of the video, let's fly back over to Troy and see how much I looted here. Now with I got 2 globals in there. Hopefully, I'll at least make that 105 PDs back. Like I said, I'm just going by loot, not talking about decay or anything like that. Just strictly in and out. And I think that method is a little bit better for these purposes, because it'd be like buying a car. You can buy a 2020 car, cost $20,000 hypothetically. But 2020 cars have been out, 7-8 months now. They're all going to have different values because you put different miles on them, so there's going to be different decay on each one of those vehicles. You can still probably sell for about the same because it is still, So that's kind of where I'm getting at with, in and out price. There's going to be variations. But I'm just talking strictly what it's cost me versus what I'm getting back. And come on, wear and tear is worth the fun of playing this game. To be honest, this is going to be one of the longest videos I have done, and I hope I didn't bore everyone by talking through the whole thing. So, let's see what we got. So, like I said, 105 PEDs of ammo, got 113 PEDs back. So I made a profit of 8 PEDs, and just since I'm right here, repair terminal, so I think a big portion of my repair cost, yeah, it's coming from my amp. I got an A103 on there with, right there's almost 15 PEDs worth of, so money in, totals out to what, 120? I got 113 back, but I got a shit ton of skills. So I think it makes it worthwhile. You know, nothing else, the fun value, because we just did spend, almost 40 minutes together. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. And until next time, catch you later.